Today, I want to talk to you about being on FU Island and talk about how you can get yourself out of that business slump and back on the train to success. Hey, I'm Michelle, a business coach, the author of Woman Up, the podcast, and the book. And I'm here to bring you out of your shell and get you showing up even bigger, bolder, braver, stronger, and bringing your gifts to the world so that you can make a difference. So what I want to talk to you about today is a funny story. Well, it's not really funny when you're on FU Island. I'd like to call it what it is, but Facebook will pull my video down. So what is FU Island? FU Island is where you kind of get into a bit of a hump. And let's face it, with COVID, right, it's affected some of our businesses and some of our products aren't arriving, and so then we can't on-sell them to other clients, or it's affected us all in different ways. And what brought this on today, I promised my client that I would turn up and do a video about FU Island, because that's where she has been residing over sort of the last week or two, and we all go there, right? When things get a bit hard and then we're like, this isn't fair, and why is this happening to me, and oh my god, we just kind of chuck all of our toys out of the cot. And then we kind of reside there, and then we let all of our rhythms go. So we stop journaling in the morning and we stop exercising properly, and then we're like, oh, we might as well just eat chocolate for breakfast. And it's a real slippery slope, right? Until you get right to the bottom, and then you're like, oh, it's not actually that much fun at the bottom of the mountain. I'm going to climb all the way back up. So it takes a massive amount of energy to get back up, right? So that's why our business journey is up and down, up and down. And your business is supposed to be up and down, right? So let's say you have a service-based business. Let's say, I don't know, you have a beauty salon. So you have lots of bookings in this week, and then not so many bookings, and then lots of bookings and not so many bookings. Now, life is like that, right? You can't, like if you're a sprinter, you can't just sprint all week, every week, right? You do short spurts of sprints, and then one week you might concentrate on your long running, and then the next week you might do sprints, and then you also have some weight training in there. Like, you're supposed to do other things. There's supposed to be ebbs and flows, and there's supposed to be short bursts of real intense energy, but you can't maintain it. It's kind of like, the story about the hare and the turtle. So you're either slow and methodical and you move your way through it, but let's face it, if you're an entrepreneur, it's just not us, right? Fast, do it now, give me all the results now, run. But we burn ourselves out. So therefore, we end up manifesting situations in our business where we can actually take a breather and recoup. Because the truth is, if you don't recoup, if you just keep running like the hare, you're not actually strategically thinking about the next step. So there should be short bursts of energy followed by reflection and thinking. And that's why the rhythms in business support us. That's why with all my clients, I get you to do a specific set of morning journal prompts. It's why I create your affirmations for you. It's why you do a specific set according to whatever you're trying to manifest and call into your business right now. Like whatever business target you're trying to reach, you should have specific questions that you do in your journal each night around that. It keeps you focused, and it makes you achieve all of your goals in ease and flow. But what do you do when you're on FU Island? Business hasn't been going so well, or something happened and you're like, why do I even bother, right? We've all been there. We've had that thought. Why do I bother doing this? I hate this. I want a career change. I'm going to change my whole business model. I'm going to burn it all to the ground and start all over again. And sometimes we do. And sometimes burning it all down and starting from the beginning is actually the right thing to do. But more often than not, it's actually that we've just found ourselves on FU Island. So there is a couple of ways that you can come off FU Island. And the important thing that I want you to know before you ask yourself this question is that everything happens for you. The universe has your back, right? It's really not just a saying. The universe really actually does have your back. And if you consider that everything happens for you, kind of like, everything has a silver lining, but I'm not talking about just positiving your way out of it, which can be done. I'm asking you to dig deeper than that and really look for the actual real learning of what is actually going on in there. So if everything happened for you, what would you know? So you're on FU Island, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, so in fact, I'll talk about the example of my client's business without telling you what it is. But for example, product's not arriving. So if when I got her to sit there and ask, so what are the actual benefits once we dug down, having a nice holiday and doing all those other bits and pieces and catching up on emails, and what it actually come down to was creating stronger relationships with different suppliers. Now that's massive, right? In 6 months' time, that's going to make her business so much stronger, better, and different than what it was before COVID, right? It's going to completely change the face of her business. So there is always not just a silver lining, but like a massive treasure chest of gold in every single situation that we create for ourselves. And before you go ahead and say, well, that's fine, you've never had anything tragic happen to you. I've had plenty of tragic things happen to me, right? And yes, I've learned from all of them. In fact, one of the most tragic things that ever happened to me really and utterly changed my life. And so it's about more than just digging for the silver lining. It's moving past that and actually getting the learning from it and growing. Otherwise, we stay in victimhood if it was really traumatic, or if it's not quite so bad, then we kind of just stay on FU Island. And FU Island gets not fun because we get unhealthy and it's not a very pleasant place to be. And it's very hard to manifest great business results from FU Island. Not impossible, but it's much better if you are off FU Island. So these are the things that I want you to do if you find yourself on FU Island. Write down, I know that everything happens for me, and therefore I also know that. So have a think about the situation. What is the absolute golden treasure chest, not just the silver lining? And then to climb out of that, to climb off FU Island, or to catch a plane off FU Island if you like, ask yourself these things. What do I now know that I need to release? What do I now know that I need to call in for my next level support so that this doesn't happen again? And what do I know needs to absolutely change fundamentally in my business and life going forward from this day? Ask yourself those 3 questions and the whole, this is done for me, and I guarantee you'll be off FU Island faster than you can say Jiminy Cricket, and you'll be back into business flow. So it's all about not, because you're always going to have the business up and down, right? But it's about the waves being like this instead of like this, right? So you just want to get off FU Island a little bit quicker and get back to all the amazing business results. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you find yourself on FU Island now or any time in the future, I wish you good luck in getting off it very speedily. Now, if you really do want to grow your business and get smaller waves instead of the big ginormous waves, one of the best ways to do that is group coaching, right? The fastest way, because you don't only just have yourself and your coach, but you also have the whole group there supporting you as well. If that's something that you'd like to explore, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on my website, www.michellebusinesscoach.com, or you can reach out to me, michelle@michellebusinesscoach.com. Okay, have a great day forward, and remember, together we shall rise.